Stanionis, but it is 1 versus 2 in this division. We know with Ennis, it's the speed, the power, the ring IQ. Stanionis, he says it himself, all gas, no brakes. How do you feel this fight is going to be won tonight?
I think that both guys are in for a competitive fight. You know, this is a test for both guys. Boots, he's been at the big stage, and you know he has a lot of experience now as far as fighting at the big stage with Eddie. But I think that he doesn't have the experience as far as competition, and I think Stanionis is bringing that next level that Boots haven't seen, and vice versa. Boots is bringing that next level with his style, his pedigree. And tonight, this is what you call a real unification match. This is what you call 2 champions going at it. And I don't know how it's going to end off. I can see Boots pulling it off, but I can also see Stanionis, you know, making it an upset. So this is a great night of boxing, to be honest. And there's no better place to hold this event than here in Atlantic City, you know, with so much history behind it. So I'm excited.
I know one thing you have in common with both these fighters is that you want to stamp a legacy when it's all said and done with your boxing career. And that's what these two have spoken about in the lead up to this fight. They want to be known as the top dog in the welterweight class. They want the belts, but also they want to take a belt from a champion. These two fighters, they were elevated to champions as Terrence Crawford went up in division. How important is that for a fighter to go ahead and take a title from another champ?
That's a fighter dream, to take a belt, you know, to hear in the news. Nobody want to just have a belt given to them. So I think that with them guys having that attitude, it shows already that they're both chasing greatness. They both have a champion's mindset. So they don't want nothing given. They want to earn it. And tonight, this is their opportunity to earn it.
Let's take a look at the main card for you again, beginning at 8 p.m. Eastern, and it'll begin with the mandatory challenger for the WBA title. That's Shakram Giasov, so he's going to try and maintain his standing in that situation against Franco Ocampo. Amari Jones, second time we'll see him in his young pro career against William Jackson. Raymond Ford and Thomas Batiste clash in a 130-pound co-feature again, leading up to our main event, Jaron Boots Ennis and Eimantas Stanionis. Here on Before the Bell, we have 4 cards for you. They will be starting in moments, and it'll be a pair of local products kicking off our action in the lightweight division. Francisco Rodriguez, Naheem Parker, and then it's the return of the undefeated Mexican Arturo Cardenas along with Edgar Joe Cortez. Philly's Tamir Smalls, a Boise Ennis-trained fighter, will be taking on Earl Nicky Bascom, and then Zaquin Moses, the young cousin of Shakur Stevenson, back in the ring as he takes on Alex Paulette. So we are moments away from our first bout getting going here, and between Boots Ennis, between Eimantas Stanionis, we are in for one big night of action. Ready to go here on Before the Bell. Without further ado, let's go inside the ring with David Diamante.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Boardwalk Hall here in America's Playground, Atlantic City, New Jersey, USA. We are live on DAZN for a big night of World Championship Professional Boxing. We begin tonight with a 6-round lightweight contest set to make his ring walk from Camden, New Jersey, Naheem the Dream Parker.
First ring walk of the night belongs to 30-year-old Naheem Parker. 5-1 record, 2 knockouts. Tonight he's ending an 18-month layoff following the first defeat of his career when he dropped a 6-round unanimous decision to Efrain Cruz back in September of 2023. And Parker's mainly fought in and around Philadelphia, which is closer to his hometown of Camden. But tonight he'll look to get back in the win column in the city by the sea.
And now entering the arena from Atlantic City, the undefeated Cisco Kid, Francisco Rodriguez.
This is 21-year-old Francisco Rodriguez, who is looking for a win over his most successful opponent to date. He's 6-0 with 6 knockouts. He's a 135-pounder, born and raised in Atlantic City, and he scored a first-round TKO over Ulysses Carvajal in his last fight in January. Rodriguez said getting the call for this fight on the Eimantas Stanionis undercard gave him more motivation, more focus, more confidence during training camp, and that meant getting top sparring, training when he didn't want to, adding that extra workout on a given day, doing things that just makes one uncomfortable, all so he can on the biggest stage in his hometown tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, good evening and welcome to the iconic Boardwalk Hall here in Atlantic City, New Jersey, USA. We are live on DAZN for a big night of World Championship professional boxing. It's all being brought to you courtesy of Mr. Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing. We're sponsored tonight by Bet Online, Everlast, El Mexicano, O'Reilly Auto Parts, Riyadh Season, Visit Atlantic City, and Drip. All of tonight's bouts are sanctioned under the auspices of the New Jersey State Athletic Control Board. The commissioner is Larry Hazard. Introducing your three judges, scoring our first contest from ringside: Jacqueline Atkins, Tony Lundy, and Paul Wallace. And at the sound of the bell, your third man in the ring, referee Charlie Fitch. And now, ladies and gentlemen, 6 rounds of boxing scheduled in the lightweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, he wears blue and gold. He scaled 136 pounds. Professional record, 5 victories, 1 defeat, with 2 wins coming by way of knockout. He fights out of Camden, New Jersey. Please welcome Naheem, the Dream Parker. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner. He wears red with white trim. He scaled at the lightweight limit of 135 pounds. Bang on. Professional record, perfect. 6 fights, 6 victories, all 6 victories coming by way of knockout. From Atlantic City, New Jersey, here is the Cisco Kid, Francisco Rodriguez.
Good evening, Naheem. Good evening, Francisco. Gentlemen, you both know the rules. Obey my commands and protect yourself at all times. Touch gloves now. Come on, fighting at the bell.
Charlie Fitch, the third man in the ring, as we get set for our first bout of the night. First bout here out before the bell. Francisco Rodriguez in the red trunks and Naheem Parker in the blue trunks. It is Atlantic City versus Camden as we start the night here at Boardwalk Hall, all leading up to Eimantas Stanionis, the welterweight unification, later tonight on DAZN. And we're glad to have you with us. Justin Shackle with Richardson Hitchens. Francisco Rodriguez, 6-0, 6 knockouts. And Naheem Parker ending an 18-month layoff, bringing his 5-1 record in the ring. And he's, right now, the only one who's thrown a punch.
Oh, he threw that from too far. He can't be making mistakes like that. 2 New Jersey guys, so this should be competitive.
Parker's 30 years of age. Again, coming off and really sitting on his first pro defeat that took place in September of 2023 over at Bally's Park Place here in AC. But Francisco Rodriguez has stayed busy. He's just 21.
I like how Rodriguez is boxing. He's staying patient, especially for a guy that has a lot of knockouts. He's still boxing. He's still staying patient. And looking for the right shot.
He thought that Naheem Parker would be the toughest test of his young pro career, but he said he only needs a short amount of time to kind of size up his opponents and then adjust. I think that's what we might be seeing here.
Yeah, Parker's finding a little hesitant. So it's either he feels something in there. He has to feel some type of power or speed.
Good timing and counters from Rodriguez. Also finding a good job timing the jab. Parker lands a jab himself.
Both guys are boxing and trying to size each other up. But Parker is a little hesitant. I think he needs to start using his feints and try to set something up behind that jab.
You can hear Parker's corner yelling. And then, like you said, a little bit of hesitation here in the first round for Naheem Parker.
Yeah, your corner can scream and say, do this, do that, but you don't want it in there. You don't want to feel them punches and that speed. The corner ain't feeling that. And Parker is feeling the speed and the power right now.
Well, he lands a good left hook.
Good shot to the body.
And Rodriguez came back with a left hand of his own.
Rodriguez is real composed, especially for a young fighter.
Age is 21, a product of the Atlantic City PAL program.
Oh, almost classic.
End of round one. Rodriguez receiving instructions from his trainer, Frankie Rodriguez. Bob Kane as well, as you take a look at some of the action from round one. And like you said, good composure from the 21-year-old.
Yeah, Parker can't be lunging in like that. And he's kind of doing the Devin Haney mistake. When he jabs, he's bringing his right hand back, and that's creating an opening for the left hook. So if Rodriguez see that, he might capitalize on that.
This is Rodriguez's first 6-round test. Everything else before this was 4 rounds.
Yeah, Parker's not a bad fighter, though. I can
He's
see
more experienced.
Yeah, I can see why Rodriguez say this probably would be one of his toughest tests. But Parker can't be so hesitant.
Again, Rodriguez, he has knocked out all of his competition thus far, but only one of the previous 6 opponents had a winning record. The combined record of his prior opponents, 14-49. So that could be another reason why Parker is his toughest test yet.
Rodriguez is missing counter-punching opportunities. Whenever Parker lunges like that, he should be looking to counter. He's been making that same mistake from round 1. So I'm looking from round 2 to 3. He start calculating that and a stab to the body.
Looks like Rodriguez uses the wide split stance well.
Yeah. Parker corner is saying that they can knock Rodriguez out. They feel as if Rodriguez don't have nothing for their fighter.
But those moments right there when he swings and misses badly, those are the ones that Rodriguez has to capitalize on, right?
Yes, he's got to capitalize on the big misses.
Well, now he has Parker in trouble along the ropes.
Oh, good shot by Rodriguez.
Big right hand by Rodriguez here in round 2.
God.
We talk about getting comfortable. Parker.
Yeah, this looking like it's going to get real bad real soon. Oh, yeah, it's going to get real bad real soon. Parker is already breaking down.
He looks like he's punching in slow motion.
Yes.
There is over a minute to go here in round 2, but Rodriguez potentially smelling some blood in the water against Naheem Parker.
Oh,
good body shots by the 21-year-old. Now he makes him miss with his defense.
You can hear Parker corner. They're trying to talk their man through it, but Rodriguez just looks like he's becoming a little bit too much for Parker. Oh, good shot.
He buzzes him with the right hand.
I like the way Rodriguez gets physical on the inside. He don't wait for the ref. He take care of business himself.
Rodriguez has applied more pressure here in this 2nd round as he starts to understand Naheem Parker. In the fighter meetings, he sneaks a right hand in there as well. Rodriguez said we should keep an eye for his left hook. We have not seen him unleash that just yet. Hasn't had to.
No, actually, the first round he did catch him with a quick left hook, but it didn't really do too much damage. So let's see how the left hook.
More quality body work leading to an overhand right. That was a quality round overall for that man right there.
Great round by Rodriguez. He's taking the fight out of Parker, systematically breaking him down. I think that Parker is letting Rodriguez be the boss too much in there. I think that he needs to start trying to push Rodriguez back because he's getting hit going backwards anyway. So show Rodriguez he's in a fight. Bring the fight to him.
The referee, Charlie Fitch, was already in Parker's corner basically saying, hey, you guys got to show me something here.
Yeah.
This one's scheduled again for 6 rounds, but Rodriguez showed that he could be a whole other level up on Naheem Parker.
Yeah. Rodriguez is looking at me from his corner as if he's ready to put on a show.
He's ready to come back out.
He looks confident.
You know, the Fight Week Hotel, it's Caesars Atlantic City, and Francisco, he works security at the hotel. So on a typical Saturday night, he'd be manning crowd control in the casino.
Oh,
here
wow.
he's fighting at Boardwalk Hall.
That's funny.
He's got some colleagues here supporting him as he fights in his hometown.
1-6, 1-6, 1-6. Let's put the hands on. 1-6. Stab him with the jab. You gotta work.
This is how a fight gets stopped. And Parker can't just get on survivor mode. He's playing good defense, but he's still looking as if, you know, he don't want to be in a fight. And this is when the referee start looking closely.
You see Charlie Fitch watching intently as Parker tries to establish a jab here against Cisco Rodriguez. Next to be called the Cisco Kid.
Gotta be first, man. Don't pull up. You gotta weave when you're inside.
Just the speed difference in the jab, it stands out to you.
Yeah, and the technique. I think the technique is a big difference too, Justin. I think that Parker's going a lot of wide shots, lunging in with shots, and you can see Rodriguez, his shots is more compact, short, and straight to the target. I want to
sneak around that left hand.
I want to see Rodriguez go back down to the body.
Come back with the right hand. One punch is not going to get the job done. Right. Come back with the arm. I told you punch a combination. He's sitting right there. He don't even move his head.
Good body shot.
Rodriguez just waiting for his target to expose himself.
Real good patience for a young fighter.
And now Rodriguez, another hard shot to the body. That may have hurt Parker. A minute 5 to go here in round 3.
Parker need to throw something back.
And now Rodriguez looking to unleash those hands in a more rapid rate.
Parker need to show that he wants to compete.
It feels like it is full survival mode for Naheem Parker at the moment.
Turn it over into a 3. 1-3. Gotta work it. You gotta use both hands. You gotta work.
Another good jab, or stab to the body, I should say, from Rodriguez. Now, for a young fighter, just seeing him able to slow this action down the way he has against more experienced competition, how would that work out for him? Does he have to try and maybe get faster with his thinking?
I mean, versus higher competition, they won't be finding him scared. He's able to slow it down because this guy is kind of showing he don't really want to compete. So he's able to slow it down and control it. But he's doing what he has to do with a guy like this. He's pushing the action and he's trying to be the boss and control it. But obviously, once you got higher in competition, guys ain't just going to let you just push him back and throw at them.
That was a round in which Francisco Rodriguez connected with that right hand to the body often against Naheem Parker.
Yeah. Good shot behind the ear. That's a funny left hook he just threw. Kind of like a laughing punch.
And that's going to do it. It looks like Naheem Parker's corner is waving this off. So, yes, fight waved off. Francisco Rodriguez will pick up another stoppage win here in his hometown.
I like the patience by him tonight. That was a great performance. He did what he had to do. Stood composed. And he didn't fight like a guy that's just saying, oh, I got all knockouts, let me go for the kill. He systematically broke his opponent down and got the job done. Congrats to the young man.
He moves to 7-0, picks up his 7th KO, and he does it here at Boardwalk Hall. So the Cisco Kid stops another. And for Naheem Parker, again, staying on the stool, falls to 5-2. Rodriguez, the AC product, local lightweight, perfect record remains. Aces his first 6-round fight. Shows his poise, shows his patience. And he thought that Parker would be his toughest test yet. If it was, he came out looking impressive. So Rodriguez previously fought inside Boardwalk Hall, but that was in the small room. There's a big difference here. There's the small room, and this is the big room where all of those legendary matches have taken place. There's been some great memorable fights in the small room as well, but here he gets a win in the big room for the first time as a pro. Let's go make it official with David Diamante.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Charlie Hitch calls a halt to this contest. The red corner is unable to continue. Your winner, he's still undefeated from Atlantic City, the Cisco Kid, Francisco Rodriguez.
Francisco Rodriguez gets the win here in Atlantic City, and he won't have to go too far to celebrate again with friends, families, and colleagues as well from Caesars AC, as he improves to 7-0 with 7 knockouts, and he is standing by in the ring with Ak.
Congratulations, Francisco. Phenomenal performance. I noticed in the first round, you were picking your shots, taking your time. And after I heard your opponent's corner scream out, he's going nowhere in the sport, he's an easy fight, it seems like you turned up after that. Did you hear that? And is that what made you turn up?
For sure, that's what made me turn up. First of all, I want to thank God for this victory. Without him, nothing's possible. Much respect to my opponent for taking this opportunity, and thank you for Matchroom Boxing for putting on a great show always and having me in it. Thank you so much. But yeah, I heard it. That motivated me. It motivated me more, and I just had to take that. That took that dog out of me when I heard them words, but I had to stay calm, collective, and just pick my shots. And every punch had a little thud into it after he said that. You've yet to hear the last bell. All your fights ended in knockout. Is that the agenda going into these fights? I mean, do you want to be the guy that's known to stop people? I want to be known. I want to be known to win no matter what it is, either stoppage or decision. I want to break down my opponents mentally, physically, and just become victorious, and glory to God always. Well, you look good in there. Looking forward to seeing you again. Congratulations, champs. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Justin?
Thank you, Ak. Congratulations to Francisco Rodriguez. And just taking a look at the story of fight one between Rodriguez and Parker. He talked about breaking his opponents down mentally and physically. Well, I think he did it there, champ, as he was able to work the body well against Parker. Really, there was nothing that you could kind of like critique here with Francisco Rodriguez. Maybe it was just a short sample size, but it was really impressive for the 21-year-old.
Yeah, with a guy like that that's not, really bringing much to the table, you just got to do what you got to do, and he did what he had to do. And what I liked the most, he took his time tonight. He didn't fight like a guy that was a big knockout puncher, and he showed out in front of his hometown. So, congrats.
So one fight already in. We have 3 more for you ahead of our main card beginning at 8 p.m. Eastern on DAZN. It'll lead into Ennis and Stanionis for the welterweight unification battle that we have all come to wait for, and now we are getting it. It's been an interesting puzzle at 147 pounds. And we get ready to go for that main card. Something interesting on the main card, Jaron Boots, who we keep talking about, the undefeated Uzbek, will be leading off the main card, and he is the #1 contender for the WBA crown. So something to watch for over the course of the main show. Could the next challenger for the winner of the main event be in the building here tonight? Jaron Boots going up against Franco Ocampo of Argentina in this opening bout here for our main card. Something that I wanted to touch on with you here. Welterweight unification. Yes, the IBF title is on the line. That meant there was no second-day weigh-in this morning because the WBA title is involved.
Right.
I know we all love the IBF rules here with these title fights. How much of an advantage does that give Boots Ennis? Something that he hasn't, something he's had to do over his last couple of fights. Not the case here in AC.
Boots Ennis is already a big guy for 147. That's why there's always been talks of him moving up to 154, flying guys like Virgil Ortiz. But without the IBF 10-pound rehydration rule and not having to weigh in on the second day and hold his weight, I think he's going to be coming in the ring a lot much bigger, a lot more energized, and a lot more just a beast tonight. And I think that we might see an even better Jaron Ennis. And I don't know if it will be trouble for Stanionis or if Stanionis' attitude is just like, I don't care. Bring however big he is, I'm going to get it done. So I think that Boots will be at his best fighting without a IBF rehydration clause.
All right, we will step aside as we get ready to go for our second bout here on Before the Bell.
Latinos, somos creadores de momentos, momentos compartidos. Somos tan auténticos como los sabores que nos han unido por generaciones. Somos tradición, como la marca El Mexicano, que ofrece una gran variedad de productos de calidad y frescura, con sabor auténtico, para unirnos y vivir momentos de alegría. Somos familia, porque no hay nada más importante. Somos El Mexicano.
Back here at Boardwalk Hall in Atlantic City, Justin Shackle, Richardson Hitchens with you here on Before the Bell. Another world champ has stepped inside here on our table ringside. That's Shakur Stevenson, but champ, do we have it? Yeah, we can get another headset. Why not? All right, Shakur is in here. Hey, let's move in closer. Make this TV safe. Richardson's going to step out. Shakur Stevenson steps in. Welcome to AC, champ. Good to see you. How are you doing?
What up, what up, what up?
You're going to be watching your younger cousin later on here on Before the Bell for a third time. What has the progression been like for Zaquin Moses over these last 6 months as a pro?
I think it's all a learning process. I think he's been learning every day, getting better. And he's just trying to get to that elite level, and I'm going to make sure that happens.
You got Ray Ford, another stable mate in this co-feature on this show here, taking on a tough opponent in Thomas Matisse. Second fight for him at 130 pounds. What has the weight division change, you think, done for Ray?
I think he's able to show his true colors. I think he's able to go out there, feel good, and put on these spectacular performances, and I think tonight won't be no different.
All right, a lot of news this week regarding you, William Zepeda. Fight's been ordered. Where do things stand in your eyes?
Belt. Honestly, Zepeda's a great fighter. I don't got nothing bad to say about him, but hopefully we make this fight happen, and I'm going to put belt to ASS.
There you go. I mean, we could say it, but anyway, in your heart of hearts, do you think it's going to get finalized?
Yeah, for sure. I know that he wants to fight me. I want to fight him. And if he don't fight me, he's the interim champion, so he'll lose his interim title. So if you want to become the regular champion, the real champion at the weight class, you got to go through me.
And if everything was on your schedule here, when would this fight take place?
Anytime, whenever he's ready. I like July, August, September. Whenever he's ready, I'm ready.
What's it like? I know you guys are doing some great things in Houston now, but here you're back in New Jersey. The amount of history in this city, in this building here, when you hear the people who have fought in this building, and now we're going to see a welterweight unification here. What comes to mind when you think about the history? Because just like Richardson, I know you're a student of the game. I mean, he was watching Floyd clips right before we were going on air. What does it mean to be in this building today?
It means everything. You know, there's a lot of history in this building. I heard that Floyd got here, right?
He did.
So, honestly, it's a hell of a building. I'm happy to be participating here. Hopefully one day I could be fighting here, so I'm just glad to be a part of it.
If Floyd, it'll be 20 years in June when he won his first 140-pound title against Arturo Gatti in this building. It's been a little over 10 years since a big fight was in this room. It was Bernard Hopkins and Sergey Kovalev. Now it's going to be Jaron Boots Ennis and Eimantas Stanionis. How do you see that main event tonight playing out?
I like Boots by knockout. I want to say 9th, 10th round. I think Stanionis is going to be tough. He's going to make it a hard fight. But I don't know if he's able to take the power punches and the speed of Jaron Boots Ennis. The speed, the power, the ring IQ, all there for Boots Ennis in his third fight here under the Matchroom banner. Champ, thanks so much. We'll be talking to you throughout the night. All right.
We are going to take a look now at the weigh-in footage for our second bout coming up here on Before the Bell. That is the undefeated Mexican Arturo Cardenas going up against Edgar Cortez of nearby Millville, New Jersey. And there is Cardenas, and Cortez weighing in on the scales yesterday here in AC over at Caesars Atlantic City. Cardenas looking strong, Robert Garcia trained fighter, and Cortez was a late fill-in. This one was supposed to be Christian Cardo against Arturo Cardenas. Cardo had to pull out for medicals. Eddie Hearn here now as well. We have Shakur, we have Richardson, Justin Shackle, and it was supposed to be Cardenas Cardo to start off the main card. Cardo had to pull out for medical reasons. Cortez is going to be the fill-in. We're moments away from the ring walk for that one. These two, it's fun to see champions yak it up like this, for sure. Just talking shop. Right now, David Diamante is going to talk ring walks for us. Our second bout of the night coming up. All right, so we're waiting for the EMTs to be ringside here in AC, and we are at ringside with Shakur Stevenson, Richardson, Hitchens, and we need another headset here. I mean, we need all three of these guys to go here because they want to share the mic. I appreciate you wanting to stay on here with your buddy. Thank you very much for that.
Nah, I just think it'll be more funner, you know, the fun vibe.
Absolutely.
You know, I'm just trying to make entertainment. You know, make it entertaining.
So I was talking with your cousin Zay Quinn earlier in the week. There's obviously Zay with his young career. Emmanuel Chance just turned pro in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
He said you got another cousin in the pipeline. Is that correct?
I got a little brother. Yeah, my little brother. He's actually going to the Nationals. He's out there right now. So the Nationals start on Tuesday, and he's getting ready to fight down there.
What's his name?
Shakir.
Okay.
Yep. Shakir, my little brother.
When do you think he could turn pro after that tournament, possibly?
Yeah, if he win the Nationals, and you know, my rule kind of is, for me, I feel as though they got to win the National for the turn pro. Same thing with Zay. I told him win the Nationals, and I had to stand on my word and make sure that he gets his pro debut. So same thing with him.
I think a lot of people first really were exposed to Zay Quinn after what he did to Carmel Moten.
Yeah.
Watching him closely, because you're so close to him in the gym, what did that experience, you feel, do for him?
I think it boosts his confidence, but honestly, before that fight, me and him was doing a lot of sparring leading up to the fight. And I kind of knew where he was at, and I had a lot of faith in where he was going to be. So we knew where it was going to happen. And once it routed out, everything went according to plans.
You know, Eddie Hearn all week, he calls Zay Quinn the future of boxing in America.
He is.
And you see Zay, I think he's coming out of his shell a little bit with all the fight week ceremonial events. He's getting looser up there on the stage. Do you think that translates into his fighting?
Yeah, you got to understand, he's been around me for years and years, and he kind of seen me under the lights, and he just been waiting on this moment, and now the time is here. So truthfully, he's ready for the spotlight. He's ready for these bright lights, and he's going to put on a performance tonight.
Zay Quinn Moses is going to be in our main event on Before the Bell. The main event of the night, of course, is the welterweight unification. The IBF, the WBA, the Ring Magazine titles, all on the line as Jaron Boots Ennis beats up with Eimantas Stanionis.
It's been said in sports, you are built up to be torn down. Give the people what they want, and you're beloved. Don't, and risk their wrath. For years, Jaron Boots Ennis has been one of boxing's favorite sons. He rose the ranks of the welterweight division quickly, showcasing speed, skills, and power. He was the heir apparent to Terrence Crawford, some believe with the ability to unseat him. 2024, Boots' rise stalled. There was the lackluster performance against Karen Shugajan, followed by the refusal to move up in weight to face longtime rival Virgil Ortiz. The goodwill Boots generated with spectacular wins over Sergey Lipinets, Thomas Delorme, and Roy Monvilla was gone. In its place, questions about whether he deserved all the hype. In 2025, Boots will look to rise again. He says his reasons for staying at 147 are simple. He wants to collect belts. He inherited his title from Crawford. Before he makes the move to 154, he wants to win more. Eimantas Stanionis offers that opportunity. Stanionis has had his own complicated journey. He was a rising star after defeating Radza Butayev in 2022. He has fought just one time, though, since then. Stanionis knows Boots has big plans. He'll enter this fight hell-bent on ruining them. 2 fighters, 2 belts, 1 chance to reclaim the momentum that has been lost. A 50-50 fight for the unified championship is exactly what both Ennis and Stanionis have been looking for. The winner will sit atop the welterweight division. The loser will fall back to the pack.
Back here inside Boardwalk Hall in Atlantic City, we are ringside here on Before the Bell, counting down to our main card coming up at 8 p.m. Eastern on DAZN. Jaron Boots Ennis, Eimantas Stanionis in our main event. And right now we are ringside awaiting our second fight of the night between Arturo Cardenas and Edgar Cortez. And it's Shakur Stevenson, it's Richardson Hitchens. Champ, does your mic work? Just really quick, test it out.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. Okay.
You can hear him? I couldn't hear him.
Do it another. Do it again.
Mic check, mic check.
No,
You got him?
I can't hear him.
Mic check.
I can hear you.
You
though.
hear me?
Yeah. Hey, Neil, are we good? I think so. We're great. We're great. All right, we can hear Richardson. We can hear Shakur. This is great TV because you have 2 fellow champs ringside as we get set for Arturo Cardenas and Edgar Cortez. How often do you guys get to see each other? I mean, you're 2 New York area fighters, but how often?
Ever since we turned professional in Shakur moved to Houston, it kind of slowed down, but we speak to each other almost every day, though, like on the phone. So it's been like that. It's been like that even when we're like, even around the same area. We always spoke to each other and keep in contact almost every day.
Yeah, I feel as though, like you said, once I went to Houston, things slowed down. But at the end of the day, you know, we're around boxing. We love the sport of boxing. So we talk to each other and communicate.
Now, you have, I mean, look, it's one of the worst kept secrets in boxing that your next fight could potentially be in New York. It's just a matter of it being finalized. It'll be your first title defense. What's the biggest piece of advice you can give to a fellow champ about their first defense?
First defense, honestly, it's the same as when you chasing for a world title. It's nothing different than what you was doing before that. keep that same hunger, keep that same dedication throughout your whole career, after the defense, before the defense. Every fight is the same. Treat every fight like it's a big fight.
All right. You two, you're going to stay on for the second match?
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right. We have an unexpected surprise. It's a good one as we get set for Arturo Cardenas and Edgar Cortez here on Before the Bell. Let's go back inside the ring with David Diamante.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Atlantic City's Boardwalk Hall, live on DAZN, we are now set to go with a special super bantamweight attraction. Set to make his ring walk, please welcome Double Trouble, Edgar Cortez.
So Millville, New Jersey is mainly known as the hometown of baseball superstar Mike Trout, but it's also the home of the 30-year-old southpaw Edgar Cortez, who took this assignment on very short notice after the 23-1 Christian Cardo had to drop out for medical reasons. So enter Cortez. He's 9-7-1 over his 12-year pro career that began in Puerto Rico in 2013. And despite living nearby, this is just his second fight in Atlantic City. He's fought a bunch of times at the famed 2300 Arena in Philadelphia. That's one of the best club show venues on the East Coast. But here tonight, he is in a step up in venue and a step up in competition as well.
I like his shoes. I like his shoes. His shoes kind of, you know, I wear those for sure.
And now entering the arena, please welcome Arturo Cardenas.
Here is the young and busy Mexican, Arturo Cardenas, who is 15-0-1 with 8 knockouts in 3.5 years as a pro. He's trained by Robert Garcia, and the Boxing Academy's kept him very busy. He fought 6 times in 2023, 3 times last year. You can see the competition for Cardenas is getting more and more difficult, which has forced him to stay really sharp. And he called his last fight, which was a narrow split decision win over Jesus Arachiga in last August in Carson, California, the toughest of his career. But the recent battles, they've been very valuable for him. Cardenas is hoping that a 14th straight victory here tonight will move him closer into a top 10 ranking for a shot at a title eliminator in the near future.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Boardwalk Hall here in Atlantic City, New Jersey, we are live on DAZN for our next bout of the evening, and it's all being brought to you courtesy of Mr. Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing. We're sponsored by Bet Online, Everlast, El Mexicano, O'Reilly Auto Parts, Riyadh Season, Visit Atlantic City, and Drip. Introducing your 3 judges scoring this contest from ringside: Jacqueline Atkins, Anthony Lundy, and Paul Wallace. And at the sound of the bell, your third man in the ring, referee Charlie Fitch. And now, ladies and gentlemen, 8 rounds of boxing scheduled in the super bantamweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, he wears red with black trim. He scaled 123.5 pounds. His professional record, 9 victories, 7 defeats, 1 draw, with 1 win coming by way of knockout. He fights out of Millville, New Jersey. Here is Double Trouble, Edgar Cortez. Cortez. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner. He wears blue with white and black trim. He scaled 123.25 pounds. Professional record, undefeated, 15 victories, no defeats, 1 draw, 8 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the reigning and undefeated WBC Continental America Super Bantamweight Champion, peleando desde Cejuayo de Morelos, Michoacán, México, Arturo Cardenas.
Cardenas.
Good evening, Edgar. Good evening, Arturo. Gentlemen, you both know the rules. Obey my commands and protect yourself at all times. Touch gloves now. Come out fighting at the belt.
So here we go with our second bout on Before the Bell from Boardwalk Hall in Atlantic City. Arturo Cardenas in the blue trunks and Edgar Cortez in the red. Cardenas looking to move to 16-0-1. Justin Shackle, Shakur Stevenson, Richardson Hitchens with you here on Before the Bell as we count down to Eimantas Stanionis later tonight on DAZN.
I'm expecting Cardenas to try to make this an early night because I think this is a last-minute replacement. So if I was him, I'll be looking to take my time and get the job done early.
We credit Cortez for taking the late assignment, not only because it keeps Cardenas busy, it's a chance for him to succeed on a high platform, but he also brought us these awesome shoes, Shakur.
Yeah, I like the shoes a lot. And sometimes you never know, a late replacement, they may have been training and putting in a lot of work, so we'll see right now. But he should try to go for the kill early.
Ooh. You never know, maybe the style matchup might give him a trouble. He's fighting a southpaw when originally he's supposed to fight an orthodox, so.
Exactly.
Cardenas has built a reputation for being a very skilled and technical fighter, and he is a quality left hook that he uses wisely. And there it is.
Cardenas is already throwing with bad intentions.
Yeah, he said in the fighter meetings this week, he does not waste punches. He will lull you in and then unleash sharp, fast, impactful shots. But he throws with conviction.
Cortez seemed game, though.
Yeah, he seemed a little crafty, real crafty. I would like to see him come over top of the jab, though. Ooh.
Cortez punching back. Good counters. That might be his strategy on short notice. Thinking that maybe he does not want Cardenas to get warmed up and try and get his attention early on.
I think Cardenas should invest in the body early.
This first round, Cortez ain't fighting like a guy that's 9-7-1. He's boxing real good, using the ring.
That's why the guy Cardenas should touch the body.
Ooh, good shot by Cardenas right there.
Cortez.
Like Shakur saying, Cardenas should, slowly start touching the body. Especially with a late replacement type of guy. He probably haven't been doing his sit-ups or training, so let's see what he got down there.
His last official fight was almost 2.5 years ago. He suffered a 4th-round TKO against the undefeated Floyd Diaz. There you see Arturo Cardenas as we take a look at some of the action from round 1. Cortez doing a decent job punching with Arturo. I think you're right, Richardson. He looks like a fighter, yeah, maybe on short notice, but he's coming to win, at least for the first round.
And you could argue that Cortez probably won that round. So.
Yeah, I kind of gave the first round to Cortez. But I see Cardenas slowly inching in. He's slowly inching in, so maybe he'll get to the body.
And Cardenas gave us an entertaining fight back in August against Arachiga. He called it his toughest fight as he unloads here in round 2 because he only had a 5-week camp for that fight. But again,
there go that body shot. He felt that body shot right there.
And Cardenas walking him, and Cortez obeying his corner and turning out.
And Cortez is boxing good, but if he had a jab behind it, I think that he'll probably control Cardenas a little bit more. But I like what he's doing as a southpaw. Good hook right there.
There's a stiff right hand that snapped back Cortez's head.
There go that body work Shakur was talking about. And if he keeps staying out there, it's going to pay dividends real soon.
Yeah, he's slowly inching in and cutting the distance. I feel like it's only a matter of time.
You could say a lot of good things about Robert Garcia trained fighters, but investing into the body is one of the biggest traits that they have, and they work like no other.
Yeah, I also like the fact that his fighters are always comfortable in the pocket. They're always real good pocket fighters.
I think Cardenas will probably find him a little bit more if he start utilizing his jab. He's looking for the big shots, but the jab is going to be there to set it up.
What do you think of the way Cortez has been moving around so far?
I think it's okay. I think he's doing a little bit too much moving, but right now it looks like he's trying to fight to survive.
You know, when you find a guy like Cardenas, I call that doing what you got to do. You know, trying to at least survive at least. And even if you don't get the win. And he felt that body shot right there by Cardenas.
That body shot hurt him for sure.
I seen his face.
Cardenas just walking him down, able to sneak in a right hand to the body, then one upstairs.
Yeah, the body shot might do it tonight, or the left hook up top.
He whacks him with a right hand.
I would like to see Cardenas use his jab, though. He's really not using his jab at all.
That's what I said, Shakur. I think the jab was set up a lot.
Yeah.
The jab will do a lot for both guys, actually.
Through 2 rounds, Cardenas has the look of a guy just getting started.
Cortez still look confidence, though. You can see him over here telling his corner, I got him. I'm going to take my time, I got him. So maybe he sees something we don't.
How many things are happening in a fight that the average viewer outside the ring doesn't know about?
I mean, like I was saying earlier, your coach and the people on the outside can say do that, but they don't see the speed, they don't feel the power, and certain times you get caught with a shot and it might hurt you, but you probably got a good poker face. So there's a lot of things in there that people don't see or don't notice. So, yeah.
To me, boxing is 80% mental, and I feel as though, like you said, you know, guys get caught with shots, good body shots, and having that poker face is very strong to have. I think it's 80% mental, though.
For example, it was one fight when Shakur was fighting, I think it was Valdez, and Valdez touched Shakur with a good body shot, but Shakur had a great poker face, but I was like, he felt that. And after the fight, Shakur was like, yeah, he was right. I did feel that.
Yeah, you know, actually, I saw Valdez do an interview, and he said he never even knew.
Right.
So I definitely did a good job that night.
The art of fighting.
Is that something you practice?
Nah, I mean, it's just keep your poker face on, you know. I was taught that as a child, so no matter what, keep your poker face on.
A fighter that do that very well right now in boxing is Bivol. He keeps his face and his demeanor the same from round 1 to round 12.
You're right. You would never know Dimitri Bivol gets hurt. Here in round 3, this one's scheduled for 8 between Cardenas and Cortez. Again, it was originally scheduled for 10 with Cardenas facing Christian Cardo. Cardo pulled out for medical reasons and entered Cortez this week. The body work by Cardenas increasing here.
Good left hand right there from Cortez. I'm not going to lie to you. I like Cortez. For a guy that hasn't fight in 2 years, a late replacement, and a 9-7 record, he's boxing really good. Good straight left. and he's doing some real crafty things in there. Counter punching, boxing and moving. And he don't look like he's breaking down right now.
Yeah, I think Cardenas is making this fight a lot harder than what it has to be. He's just pressuring forward, looking for hard shots, but I think you got to let his hands go a little bit more and use his jab. So
I don't know, maybe it might be the style switch up with the southpaw.
For sure.
But I like Cortez right now.
Yeah, he's definitely look like he's winning this round too.
So we could argue after this round if he gets past it, you know, consistently doing what he's doing. It could be 2-1 Cortez.
Ooh, big left hand by Cardenas, but again, Cortez wisely moving away.
Straight left.
Right hand by Cortez.
This right here is why you take every guy serious, because sometimes you never know who can show up on what night. So take everybody the same.
Facts. Oh, good shot by Cardenas. This is a good round for both guys.
The Garcia corner probably not liking that this is rather close after 3 rounds, but both with good punch outputs in that round.
I think Cardenas ended that round strong, so he should be up in the fight, but it's still a good fight. It's competitive, so you got to stay in it mentally.
To look at some of the best throws that Cardenas was able to put together in the fight so far. There's that left hook that caught the chin of Cortez. Another angle of it. And there you see Robert Garcia again instructing Cardenas.
And Cortez is catching him with some good shots, but it's just he don't have enough power to really keep Cardenas honest, but he's doing some good things.
And Cardenas 15-0-1 with 8 knockouts. He's going for a 14th straight win. Cortez coming out swinging. Cortez catching him with a right hand, but Cardenas answers right back with a 2-punch combo.
I would like to see more of that, following the guy out there. The guy wasn't expecting it, so he followed him out and caught him with 2 good shots. So I would like to see more of that.
Another left hook by Cardenas.
Cardenas can't forget about that body work. There you go.
That was a good check hook.
Both guys are doing a lot of good things, but they're still abandoning their jab. And I like how Cardenas is doing the 2-1, but if he sets up a lot of them shots behind the jab, I think that he can set up a lot more bigger shots and land a lot more bigger shots.
He can make this fight way more difficult for Cortez.
Yes.
Ooh, great body shot. He felt that body shot right there.
Cortez is a tough guy, though, real tough, and he's game.
He's born in Vineland, New Jersey.
Ooh.
Lives in Millville, South Jersey, born and raised. This is his 2nd pro fight in AC. Obviously taking a massive step up on late notice, but so far he's opening up some eyes here against an undefeated opponent.
Shakur, how are you scoring this fight right now?
This is kind of hard. I guess Cortez started off the round like he's winning, and then towards the end of the round, Cardenas come back and kind of establish his spot. So, honestly, I like Cardenas right now, but it's definitely a close fight.
Yeah, I think Cardenas' shots you can tell it's more effective, and he is being aggressive. So I will give him the edge because just off the strength of that. Cortez is hitting him, but it just seems like his shots is not effective. It seems like when Cardenas touch him, it's like it does more of a damage.
Yeah, there was a good right hand from Cardenas moments ago that drove back Cortez.
Great 2-1.
Are you surprised that these shots from Cortez are still landing?
Great check hook.
Not really.
Yeah.
I am. I'm surprised just because of the fact that this guy is 9-7. So if you was the other guy, Cardenas, you probably would have took him lightly, and you probably would have never felt as though this was a threat in front of him. But right now he got a threat in front of him, and he need to pick it up.
Taking a look at some of the action from round 4. And I'm with you, Richardson. I think it's another round where both fighters did a lot of good things.
Yeah. Both guys is doing a lot of good things, but I'm giving Cardenas the edge.
These rounds are closer than we expected, but I'm with you.
Yeah, I think that just Cortez is giving up, some few shots, and his power just not effective enough to, I don't think, to sway the judges. But it's a good fight.
Start of round 5, again, scheduled for 8 between Cardenas in the blue trunks and Edgar Cortez, 9-7-1 from nearby Millville, a southpaw here in southern New Jersey. He's in the red trunks.
This can be one of them cases where you say styles makes fights. Southpaw that like to box on the back foot, and just a Mexican that's just bringing that aggressive style. So this is one of them fights that you can tell the style is making it for a good fight.
For either of you, in general, what is the toughest part about switching gears for a late replacement?
I think the toughest part is not knowing what to expect. You didn't train for this guy, so you don't know what to expect when you go out there. But you always got to trust in yourself. You got to trust in your skills and believe that you could beat anybody on any given night.
That is going to be ruled a knockdown. Cortez arguing that he slipped.
Yeah, I don't know. That kind of looked like a slip to me, but he definitely got punched at the same time. So it definitely be considered a knockdown.
Yep, a knockdown here in round 5 for Arturo Cardenas. We'll see it later on the replay.
But so what Shakur was saying, and when a guy is a late replacement and you find a late replacement, that's what separates a good fighter from a great fighter, knowing how to make adjustments. So you got to know how to do that on the fly. And this is just one of the cases for Cardenas. He just got to make adjustments.
Arturo Cardenas trying to improve to 8-1 here in U.S. fights.
Cardenas is looking to step it up, though.
Can he do it? And Cortez met him with a good left hand.
Caught him right in between his shots.
And Cortez trying to capitalize on the moment.
I like that. He got off real quick and tied him up. Smart boxing right there.
Edgar Cortez, no pushover here at Boardwalk Hall. Or could that awake the beast in Cardenas?
Cardenas got to wake up, though. He needs to wake up. Because this fight can end up going the other way, and he'll be real sad. So he got to wake up, pick the pressure up, and let his hands go.
Oh, good shot by Cardenas.
Good left hand, the check left right there by Cardenas, and another one.
How is this guy taking these shots? He's still staying up. This guy is tough.
Is this saying more about the durability of Cortez or the punch power of Cardenas? Is it tough to tell?
I think it's both.
Cardenas looks like he's placing some good hard shots, but this guy is still, standing up to them.
Another really good round here in AC. You can see, though, the punches from Cortez, they're making a mark on Arturo Cardenas.
I still like Cortez, though. He's still game, still in the fight. and he's not giving up.
I think he's really frustrated that that was ruled a knockdown. We're going to see in a moment.
Can we see the legs too, though?
The slip coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you think there?
The left leg kind of tripped Cortez.
See it from another angle.
Oh, he fell off balance.
Yeah, it was off balance.
He fell off balance.
That's sad right there. That can probably, you know, cost him the fight because we don't know how he's going to finish off these later rounds. And I do believe he's still in the fight.
But a 10-8 round number 5 for Arturo Cardenas as we get going here with round 6. Again, scheduled for 8 in a match that is much closer than we all anticipated.
Like I've been saying all night, I think both guys will make this fight a little bit easier for themselves if they start utilizing their jab. But that's a lost art in boxing nowadays. Oh, good defense right there by Cortez.
You have to wonder what has gone through the mind of Edgar Cortez here this week between receiving the call as he gets tagged with a left hand by Cardenas, and then here probably not trying to think so much as he gets inside the ring with an undefeated Mexican.
Like Shakur was saying earlier, Cortez had to have been in the gym training, preparing, and waiting for an opportunity because he's in shape. He don't look like he's breaking down. He still look like a fighter that's, you know, that can go 10 rounds tonight, 12. So,
yeah, I think Cardenas just need to pick up the pace, you know.
Good right hand fouled by the left by Cardenas.
I think he's trying to wake up now, though. That's what I see. He's trying to wake up.
Oh, good 2-1.
Tagged him with another quality left. He had that combo.
That 2-1 never fails.
Another good right hand that tags Cortez, but from close range, Richardson starting to see a little more jabbing from Cardenas.
No, this right here, this moment for Cortez is fight or flight because he's picking it up. Cardenas is coming, so he got to fight him off and tie him up and get his respect back.
Yeah, I like this round for Cardenas. I think he's been picking up the pace. He's in control, and he needs to keep doing this. This is what he needs to keep doing to make sure he wins this fight.
Perhaps Arturo Cardenas, who has aspirations of being in a title eliminator later this year, finally overpowering Edgar Cortez.
This is the fight that Cardenas wants. He wanted to be a fight. He don't want a boxing match. A boxing match, he loses, so he got to go out there and keep fighting him.
This is what you call a Picasso, Shakur. This is how the picture's starting to come together now for Cardenas. And it's about time.
You call your art in the ring Picasso's?
I like to call my boxing art, you know, because the first 2-3 rounds, they're like, what is he doing? And then it comes together. 6-7 rounds, bow, the shots start landing. And that's what boxing is about, it's art.
Cortez throws one left uppercut. Cardenas meets him with about 8 to 10 punches. And there, another 1-2 drives him back. Another right hand.
Shot.
Best round of the fight for Arturo Cardenas.
That right there is how you separate yourself. You separate yourself from guys that you know is not supposed to be on your level, and I feel like that's what he was supposed to do from round 1. If he keep up this pace, he may stop him.
I think this might have been the round where Cortez started to feel in real time some of these punches, and he couldn't put on a poker face.
You know, guys like Cortez are made for the fight game. Tell you why? Because they got thick skin. All these shots that he's taking, he's not bruised up, he's not cut up, and his skin is still taking it. His face is still, you know, up to par.
Yeah, I feel like he's been in the gym. He's been in the gym getting prepared, Cortez. He had to been in the gym to last this long, take these shots, and none but respect to him.
Here's round 7 between Cardenas and Cortez. Again, Arturo in the blue trunks, Cardenas in the red. I beg your pardon, flip that around. Cardenas in the blue, Cortez in the red.
And if I'm Robert Garcia, I'm telling my fighter, don't forget about the body. Keep going back down there.
Also, pick up the pace.
Yes, keep that pace up just from the last round.
You got to keep that momentum going.
Yeah, again, this was supposed to be 10 rounds. Now an 8-round fight. Last several fights for Cardenas have been 10 rounds. There's no reason really to take a round off here, right?
Nah, there's no reason at all. Like I said, it's a close fight. I think Cardenas is edging it, but you don't want to leave these type of fights in the judges' hands. And once again, Cardenas is not going to win at a boxing match. So when it's a fight, that's when it's in favor for him. Right now, he's having trouble because it's a boxing match.
And Cortez is just right back in the fight like that. The first half of the fight, Cortez has been controlling it. And it's kind of been the same story with this whole fight. First half of the round, Cortez will do good then. Once we're in the round, Cardenas will start taking over, and his will start taking over. So you never know how the judges are scoring it.
Cortez's corner is imploring him to keep that right hand up because when it's lowered, it's an easy target for that left hook by Cardenas.
Whenever he let his hands go, every time he let his hands go, he has success. So if I was him, I would just keep letting my hands go, let my hands fly, and try to get the guy out of
Straight right hand from Cardenas, a killer right. And Cortez is down. No debate about that one here in round 7.
It's time to go home. It's time to go home. He's hurt. It's time to go home. It's time to go home.
Can Cardenas close the show? Cardenas with a left hand.
You gotta tie him up.
45 seconds to play here in round 7.
Cortez corner is telling him to tie him up.
I think Cardenas got to place these shots, though. You got to place these shots. You can't just shoot them. Place these shots. If you want to get him out of there, place them. Place them.
30 seconds to go. Cortez rocked with the left hand as Cardenas tries to accurately pinpoint lefts and rights. Yeah, that was a slip.
Yeah, he lost his balance.
Cardenas losing his footing. 10 seconds to go here in the round. Another left hand. Cardenas trying to close it out as the seconds tick off. Another impressive round by Cardenas, but maybe despite a knockdown, Cortez somehow, you got to give it to him, still in this thing.
And I think I jinxed him because right when I said he doesn't cut or bruise, now he got to cut right over his, I think his right eye. But he's still in the fight. He's still trying to survive and get through the fight, and kudos to him. If I'm Cardenas, I'm like, finally, this guy goes down. Right on the button.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the 8th and final round.
If I'm Cardenas right now, I'm doing everything that I can to get this stoppage.
Yeah, I agreed.
Crowd still filing in here at the beginning of our night at Boardwalk Hall, and they are filing in at a good time for this 8th and final round on what's been an unpredictable and yet rather exciting fight between the undefeated Arturo Cardenas in the blue trunks and Edgar Cortez, who at 9-7-1 took the late call here this fight week from nearby Millville, New Jersey, and has given Cardenas a run for his money.
Cole, if you're a Cortez coach, what would you tell your fighter? Go out there and fight, or just try to survive this last round if you're Cortez's coach?
I mean, I don't think he got too much to lose, so I would say put it all on the line. I think that shot hurt him, though. That big hook just hurt him.
Oh, yeah, Cardenas going for the kill.
And Charlie Fitz goes down.
Oh, why he stopped the action? He fell, not the fighter.
No one's there to give him an 8 count.
The fighters did not fall, ref.
Cortez is just trying to make it through this fight now. His mind is made up.
There you go.
Now he's taking the punishment from
There you go.
Cardenas. Plenty of time on the clock here. Fitch watching
Nice
closely.
shot back.
And Cardenas loses him from the corner. Cortez somehow able to get out. Oh! Cardenas, and that one's going to do it. Arturo Cardenas goes to the 8th round to close the show, but nevertheless picks up knockout number 9. We know he is a big-time Mexican puncher. He doesn't waste punches. He throws with that conviction. But in front of him this entire night was a game and ready Edgar Cortez, despite what the BoxRec page would tell you. But Cardenas finally able to get his South Jersey resident out in round number 8. And you wonder during that 8th round, like Richardson said, do you go all out? Do you look to survive? At that point, look, the 7 prior rounds, no one's ever going to be able to erase them. They see them. They saw the heart. They saw the grit. They saw the determination. No shame at all for Edgar Cortez. But on this night, Arturo Cardenas remains undefeated. Let's go inside the ring with David Diamante.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Charlie Fitch calls a halt to this contest. The official time of the stoppage, 1 minute and 30 seconds of the 8th and final round. Declaring your winner by TKO, he's still undefeated, Arturo Cardenas.
I think that's exactly what he was supposed to do. Step on the gas, pick up the pace, and get that guy out of there. And nothing but respect to that guy, Cardenas. He's a great fighter.
Yeah, Cardenas.
Can we get a nice round of applause out here for Double Trouble, Edgar Cortez.
Yeah, Cortez came in here and did what he could, so got to respect him, and I think he deserves another opportunity with that performance.
I think he just might, Shakur. Again, this was a guy who woke up on Monday afternoon, didn't think he'd be fighting at Boardwalk Hall on Saturday night. And Cardenas, who embraces Cortez, Robert Garcia going over there to show his respect as well. And now you wonder what is next for Arturo Cardenas, who says he does aspire to be in a title eliminator at some point here in 2025. Let's go inside the ring now as Cardenas is standing by with Ak.
Arturo, congratulations on a spectacular finish. He had a 2.5-year layoff. It was expected to be like kind of a showcase fight for you, but he won a few of them earlier rounds. Was he a lot better than you anticipated?
Nah, not really. La verdad que no, porque la neta, pues empecé un poco frío. Siempre a veces me pasa, pero la neta tenemos que trabajar en eso. Pero no, pues se mueve bien, corre bien, y pues hicimos buen trabajo.
Did he hurt you at all?
Yeah, so, it didn't surprise me at all. I'm used to starting quite slowly. I'm sometimes quite cold when I start. Perhaps that's something I need to work on in the gym. But, he moved well, and he ran well in the ring. But I think we put on a good performance tonight.
Did he hurt you at all in there with any of the big left hands that he landed?
No, la verdad que nunca me lastimó. Siempre quise irme para adelante. O sea, siempre yo supe que tuve el control de la pelea, pero igual en ningún momento me lastimó.
No, at no point did he hurt me at any moment in the fight. I was the one that was always going forward in this fight, but definitely, there's no doubt he didn't hurt me at any point.
Before we get out of here, any message to the people in Mexico that might be watching tonight?
Sí, claro, la verdad que es un mensaje para los de México, ojalá me tengan ocupados. Queremos más peleas, la verdad, hasta poder llegar al siguiente año por un título mundial.
Yes, our message is, for all the people back home is that we continue to have fights, but we want to start going on, to higher levels so we can go on to become world champion.
Congratulations.
Y también quiero mandarle un saludo a toda mi gente, los de Zaguayo, Michoacán, todos los que me están apoyando siempre, les agradezco mucho. Y también tanto como la gente de Riverside también, muchas gracias y estaremos pronto de regreso aquí al ring.
Yeah, I just wanted to say to all my people back home in Michoacán as well, thanks for all the support. I'm really grateful for all that, and we'll be back in the ring very soon.
Thank you. Justin?
Thank you, Ak. Arturo Cardenas moves to 16-0-1 as we continue our action here on Before the Bell. We welcome you ringside. Richardson, Hitchens, Shakur Stevenson, Justin Shackle with you as we just watched an exciting fight there. Definitely more than we envisioned from Edgar Cortez, and I'm with you. I want to see more of him. I think he's going to get another shot as well. It won't be another 2.5 years before he steps back into the ring again.
Yeah, I thought that was a highly entertaining fight. Cardenas did what he's supposed to do. Cortez came in here and tried, so much respect to both of them guys.
Good fight.
The big action coming up in just a few hours from now. It is Eimantas Stanionis and the welterweight unification of 2025, as we have all anticipated that one here stateside. But in 2 weeks' time,
boy,
you know,
black.
Tottenham is going to be bonkers over in the UK. It is Chris Eubank Jr.
Live on DAZN Worldwide, April 26th. Eubank Jr. versus Ben. Over 30 years of rivalry and hatred. I do hate him. 2 warriors, 2 wars. But the feud was left unfinished. Then, a bloodline born. Legacy, respect. The next generation.
My dad's my hero.
A new destroyer. Rivalry in their veins. Hatred in their blood.
This is going to be a bloodbath.
For family.
This is personal. I can't lose to this, man.
History.
Eubank, Nigel Benn. This is a war.
Legacy.
This is the final chapter.
Eubank Jr. versus Ben. Live on DAZN Worldwide. April 26th. Buy now at DAZN.com/boxing.
Back here ringside, it has been a fun Before the Bell so far because we have Richardson, Hitchens, we have Shakur Stevenson. They're both studying tape on their upcoming opponents. That's one thing we can promise you here. And speaking of Richardson, look, we see the Instagram stories that are posted and then they get taken down. You can't hide from us all here. We know the rumors are out there. Next fight, early summer, New York City. Do you have an idea of when that might be finalized?
Hopefully this week or soon we get this deal finalized with me and George Cambozo. That's what I like to call him. Yeah, I'm excited. I think it's going to be a great fight. You know, George Cambozo's been in the ring with a lot of top fighters. And, you know, he had his big day in boxing versus Teofimo. Everybody know that me and Teofimo was trying to make a fight happen. That couldn't happen. So what's better than getting the guy that beat Teofimo Lopez? This is a way for me to prove that I am on a higher level of boxing. I've been telling the world, but now put me with the names like the Shakur Stevensons, the Teofimo Lopez, the Ryan Garcia, the Tank Davises, and I think that
he don't want to do that.
This year is the year, you know? So this is the year I prove to the boxing world that I'm on a whole nother level.
I think you got a lot of scouting to do on May 2nd in Times Square as well. And I agree with you. Look, you're going to give a tough fight to anybody out there in and around your weight class. What do you think of what's going to be taking place in Times Square in your hometown on May 2nd?
I think the card is great. I think that everybody's sleeping on Arnold Barboza in the Teofimo fight. I wouldn't be surprised if Barboza get the job done. Even though Teofimo is a great, talented fighter, me and Shakur might, you know, we might get a bet in like night of fight because he feels otherwise for me. He thinks that the fight
he's scared to bet me.
Yeah, I'm still kind of watching him.
He's scared.
You know, seeing what's going on. But I think it's a great card. Devin Haney come back. I'm excited to see how he comes back after that devastating loss he took. He took a lot of punishment, but he's been focused, he's been quiet, he's been working. Ryan Garcia, I'm excited to see if he's been, you know, messing around, goofing around, if he hasn't been taking his craft serious. So it's a great card for the sport of boxing, and I can't wait to share the ring with any one of them guys.
That's a wild venue for a boxing match. So from each of you, if you could think completely outside the box and you could fight anywhere in the world, similar to a Times Square or an Alcatraz as it's being floated by, what would it be for you first, Shakur?
For me, I probably would say the Barclays Center, just because I never did it.
So you're going to keep it inside an arena?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Keep it inside, so.
Okay.
Yeah, the vibe of the Barclays Center is always, the atmosphere is just different, finding the Barclays. But, yeah, I mean, for me, I really don't know. Maybe London. The London fights look like a big like the London fans, like they're really into boxing, so I can see myself fighting in an O2 arena or something like that. Maybe
Looks
one
like
day.
a big party every weekend.
Yeah.
They have these fights in the UK.
They like to sing that song. What's that song?
Sweet Caroline.
Yeah.
All right, we're ready to go for our third fight of the night, and I think you're going to see one of the prime young Philly talents in this one. It's Tamir Smalls, Nicky Bascombe coming up at welterweight, and Tamir Smalls is trained by Boots Ennis. We are just ready to go here for our third bout, so without further ado, let's throw it back inside to David Diamante.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Boardwalk Hall here in Atlantic City, New Jersey, live on DAZN, it's now time for a special welterweight attraction. Set to make his ring walk, please welcome Nicky Bascombe.
Well, as you see on the display, Earl Bascombe is his legal name, but no one calls him Earl. Everyone calls him Nicky. He's gone by Nicky his entire life. So, 34-year-old Nicky Bascombe, he comes to the ring on a 7-match win streak. He's 13-1 with 2 knockouts, and in his last fight last May, Bascombe earned an 8-round unanimous decision over Rashad Kilpatrick at a venue called the Shed Dockyard in Bermuda. You might think, boxing? Bermuda? Well, that's where Nicky Bascombe grew up. That's where he currently lives. In fact, all but one of Bascombe's 14 pro fights, which have taken place over an 11-plus-year pro career, have occurred in Bermuda. Tonight, the resident of the popular resort country makes his return to the U.S. to fight in a popular resort city.
And now set to make his ring walk, here is the undefeated Tamir, the Don Smalls.
With his 26th birthday set for tomorrow, the undefeated Tamir Smalls has a chance to provide himself with the best birthday present that he can imagine, and it would be his 3rd straight win in an 8-round match. Smalls enters at 13-0 overall, 9 knockouts. His last 2 wins, a hard-fought, close unanimous decision over Shantorius Martin in November, then a 7th-round stoppage in February over his most experienced opponent in Luis Veron, and he feels that the step up in competition, it has allowed him to better display his skills. He's trained by his father and by Boots Ennis over in Philadelphia, and he's looking to keep the arrow on his future, pointing upward tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Boardwalk Hall here in Atlantic City, New Jersey, USA, live on DAZN, we're set to go with our next bout of the evening, and it's all being brought to you courtesy of Mr. Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing. We're sponsored tonight by Bet Online, Everlast, El Mexicano, O'Reilly Auto Parts, Riyadh Season, Visit Atlantic City, and Drip. Introducing your 3 judges scoring this contest from ringside: Ron McNair, Robin Taylor, and Paul Wallace. And at the sound of the bell, your 3rd man in the ring, referee Charlie Fitch. And now, ladies and gentlemen, 8 rounds of boxing scheduled in the welterweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, he wears solid black trunks. He scaled 148½ pounds. His professional record, 13 victories, 1 defeat, with 2 wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Hamilton, Bermuda, Nicky Bascombe. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner. He wears black with the white and pink trim. He scaled at already 147¾ pounds. Professional record, perfect. 13 fights, 13 victories, with 9 of his 13 wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, please welcome Tamir the Don Smalls. Smalls.
Good evening, Nikki. Good evening, Tamir. Gentlemen, you both know the rules. Obey my commands and protect yourself at all times. Touch gloves now. Come on, fighting at the bell.
Set to go for our third bout here on Before the Bell, leading up to our main card at 8 p.m. Eastern on DAZN. Tamir Smalls in the blue and pink trunks, and Nikki Bascom in the all-black trunks. Underway here on Before the Bell, here from Boardwalk Hall. Justin Shackle, Shakur Stevenson, Richardson Hitchens ringside. Shakur, I feel like you're really into this. Feel like you're really into the commentating, being ringside. Are you going to stay on for your cousin's fight?
Oh, nah, not at all. Not at all. I got to go, watch, coach, and do everything that I got to do when he fight. But I'm interested in this kid to hear. I've been hearing a lot about him. So
I actually boxed him, I want to say last year, and he gave me good work. It was his long, rangy arms and his style, so.
He's a big welterweight.
Yeah,
he's
really
huge.
big. I just asked you, I said, you think he's bigger than me? He was like, yeah, he's way bigger.
Smalls said that if he is on point tonight, you're going to see a calm fighter, a quality jab, and power that comes with a purpose. And right away, we see that.
Oh.
And that's a left hand that rocked.
This is going to be an early night.
Yeah, this looks like it's about to be over
This
quick.
could be one short. A big left hand. Down goes Bascom. And Tamir Smalls with business here at the Boardwalk Hall.
He don't look like he's planning on getting up.
Yeah,
he don't plan on getting up.
That's going to do it. Thunder in those punches from Tamir Smalls. Wow.
Wow. Right.
Smalls 14-0, gets his 10th KO. And between the body frame, the style, a lot jump out at you in a short amount of time. And so the explosiveness of those punches.
Yeah, I was impressed. I was impressed by his punching power, his athleticism. I want to see more. So he definitely got a good future ahead of him.
This is a fighter who, look, I mean, the last several shows for Jaron Boots Ennis, we're seeing some boot promotion fighters. Tamir Smalls is coached by Boots Ennis, and that's really it. He said he doesn't have a promoter right now. Taking a look at some of the action from the seconds that we saw of Tamir Smalls in this one. You know, a lot of people say he has a style all his own for his size and being a 147-pounder. He said it's tough to compare it to another fighter. Well, long arms, like Richardson was saying, he's kind of got that stocky build. But you see the quickness, the strength. He's fast. And we are going to get the official time for David Diamante as Tamir Smalls gets his hand raised once again.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Charlie Fitch reaches the count of 10 at 1 minute and 13 seconds of round number 1, declaring your winner by knockout. He's still undefeated, Tamir the Don Smalls.
Tamir Smalls victorious here in Atlantic City on Before the Bell, with the knockout coming a minute 13 into round 1. He's victorious over Nikki Bascom here in AC. Quick night of work. The post-fight interview might last longer than the actual match. What do you say, Ak?
Congratulations, Tamir. A spectacular knockout. He's coming over 7 straight wins. He's only lost 1 time. It's supposed to be a step-up fight for you. Why did you make it look so easy?
I mean, it wasn't the thing I'm trying to make it look easy. You know, we just put in the work in the gym. So, and I guess it paid off exactly how it was supposed to.
I mean, was that the agenda to be aggressive right away in the first round to end this fight early?
No, not really. The thing is, my team was telling me just to be smart. You know, don't make no fast moves. But if I see it, take it. So, and I ended up seeing it, so I took it.
So was that what it was, where starting the fight right away you saw that he didn't really pose much of a threat and there was a clear path to a knockout victory?
No, I didn't. I actually didn't see it at first. You know, like I said, I just wanted to come in and be smart. You know, I was waiting for him to throw a shot that I could counter. You know. And, you know, I just try to take advantage where I can.
Right, listen, we know you rep Philly. It's only about an hour away from AC. For those that drove down from Philly to support you, any message out there, anybody in the building or people watching home?
You know, I appreciate all of y'all for coming out, taking the job to come see me. People who came from Philly further. You know, I appreciate my opponent to the most high. You know, and I just appreciate everybody for coming to support me.
Very exciting win. Looking forward to seeing you back in there. Congratulations, champ.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Just
one more thing. One more. I really, you know, great performance from my opponent too. You know, I appreciate him coming all the way out from Bermuda. You know, I appreciate you.
Guys.
Thank you, Ak. Thank you to Tamir Smalls as he's victorious here at Boardwalk Hall. Plenty of action still to come here inside the ring. Also, plenty of action to come on DAZN on the pitch.
Greatness comes to DAZN this summer. The world's best players will be summoned together to decide the greatest club on earth.
Vinicius, great chance scored.
Goats will battle Wonder Kids. Fire will meet ice. From Boca to Bayern, PSG to Palmeiras, 32 clubs from across the globe will compete to be crowned
Rodrigo, what a strike that was!
world champion. And this summer, Haaland won't be watching from home, but you can on DAZN. In every country in the world. FIFA Club World Cup. Watch on DAZN from the 14th of June.
Back inside here at Boardwalk Hall in Atlantic City before the bell continues as we count down to the main card at 8 p.m. Eastern on DAZN, leading to our main event. Jaron Boots Ennis, Eimantas Stanionis. All right, so Shakur Stevenson has gone to the back for his cousin Zaquin Moses, who's going to be making his ring walk for his 3rd pro fight in a little bit here, as he will be going up against the Puerto Rican Alex Paulette. Richardson Hitchens will be joining us there as well, but later on the main card, we're going to get our second look at Omari Jones in his professional career. It was just a little under a month ago that Omari Jones made his pro debut in his hometown of Orlando. He was able to dispatch the Italian Alessio Mastronunzio, who had over 100 rounds of pro experience to his name in just 2 rounds. It made quick work. It was impressive for the Olympic bronze medalist. Now he's going to be in action against a 36-year-old fighter in William Jackson. So it's going to be the 22-year-old with the Olympic pedigree, who Eddie Hearn has also anointed as one of the great American stars in the near future here in the sport of boxing, and not just inside the ring. This young man has done a whole lot of work outside the ring as well, and that did not stop once he came to Atlantic City this week.
I'm Omari Jones, 2024 Olympic bronze medalist, and I believe there should be a boxing gym in every town in America.
1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2.
The process is when you keep going, that's when you're gonna find when it really start getting better and you start seeing that improvement. So you're gonna get your confidence back in sparring. That's where you get it back in the gym. And then when you go to the fight, it's easy. Boxing is a lifestyle, from the running and getting up in the morning to coming to class every day to participating. That takes discipline in the day-to-day life, and boxing did that for me. Boxing has changed so many lives.
Amari Jones talking to the kids in Cape May County. A lot of those kids were out there for our Fight Day 5K on the boardwalk this morning, and you give them credit because, oh, it was, look, the conditions unseasonable, I guess is the best way you could describe it here at the Jersey Shore for late April. Wintry conditions, rain on and off all weekend. Credit to those tough kids out in the Cape May area for showing out for Amari Jones's visit, and then earlier this morning for our Fight Day 5K. But what can we expect for the 22-year-old from Orlando when he gets inside the ring tonight? Take a look at the show he was able to put on, again, over at the Caribe Royale in Orlando. Again, just a little under a month ago. It was March 15th over in Florida. And he came out and showed terrific style, terrific precision. And you wondered what type of style would Amari Jones present in his first competitive action in 7 months since the Paris Games in the 2024 Olympics. And here it was a nice mixture, I think, between accurate jabbing and then punching his opponent, pressuring his opponent, and ultimately getting his hand raised, getting the stoppage in the second round against Alessio Mastronunzio. Getting his hand raised. Also had a fantastic fight kit as well, the Orlando Magic shorts, and just non-stop action from this 22-year-old who is nicknamed Banger. Now he will be in action in Atlantic City, so we will see what happens here as he takes on William Jackson. And I know one person that is fully invested into what we will see from Amari Jones tonight joins us now here ringside on Before the Bell. That is Eddie Hearn. Eddie, Amari Jones and what we just saw over in Orlando, when you take a look back at that footage from that night, what comes to mind?
Just impressive, sharp. You know, it was more the pressure of the homecoming. You know, I think people that have the Olympic pedigree, who have boxed on those big nights, you know, national broadcast across America fighting for a medal, they come into the professional game probably a little bit calmer. But I think even Amari probably felt the butterflies of being at home in Orlando, you know, and tonight's a little bit different. That was a smaller show, you know, probably 3,500 in there. Tonight, by the time he walks in the ring, there'll be 9,000 in here. This is a big night, a historic venue. But he's taking everything in, and he's a man with, you know, a really good head on his shoulders.
That was Shakur Stevenson, our broadcast partner, by the way, for our first two fights. He was good, yeah? He leans into this, man.
Yeah,
oh my God.
He's very good. I mean, I was saying to Shakur earlier, a lot of these guys, you don't realise, one, their boxing knowledge is second to none. He's a guy that lives and breathes the sport. But also, he's a funny guy, and you've got to showcase his personality. You've seen it before. You know, sometimes people think people don't really have any personality, but Shakur, for me, should be a superstar of American sport, not just a superstar of American boxing. And I believe he will be. He's a 3-division world champion. He's 27 years of age, and the fight with Zepeda will be upon us, and that's a good springboard to move into the tank fight.
Shakur's got a lot of dry humor to him.
Yeah.
It's good. It's really good.
And he gets it. You know, I think now he's starting to really get his teeth into the sport, of course, but like the business element as well, just understanding how to build a profile. You know, as I said, like, you know, back in the UK, if you're 27 and you're a 3-division world champion, you're an absolute national superstar. And that's what we got to get to with Shakur. I believe he's got the ability. I believe he's got the personality to do it. And like I said, the Zepeda fight's an important fight. I think that's going to be a real crowning moment.
Now, we're going to move forward here with our main event on Before the Bell coming up in a little while, and it's Shakur's cousin. It's Zaquin Moses coming up. And earlier this week, you're talking about Zaquin Moses. It's saying he is a future star in American boxing. What do you see in this young man?
Well, firstly, I see an incredible amount of talent. You know, these guys out of that gym, you know, they've all got incredible boxing IQ. Obviously led by Shakur. You see Ray Savage, and Zaquin's one of those guys as well. Very, very, very young, but actually punches very hard as well. And I just see him kind of just warming up into the fight week festivities. I mean, I was teasing him a little bit because he couldn't stop looking at himself on the big screen, you know, at the weigh-in. And he's starting to really believe in himself. And, you know, I knew that when the likes of Shakur and those guys say, look, this kid is the next big thing, you know those guys come with a great IQ and a great mindset of what it takes to be a champion. They see it in Zaquin. And I really believe that he is a star of the future.
You can tell he's loosening it up a little bit with the fight week festivities.
I told him, look, watch here, look. He looked in great shape as well. I mean, you know, a young kid getting stronger. I saw a shy side to him when he first joined, look. But now he's just starting to believe in himself a little bit. And he sits down on his shots, he punches nice and hard, but he does it as well with great shot selection. And someone with an IQ well beyond his years.
I mean, it's hard to forget. He's just 19.
I know.
He's just 19.
That's what's so exciting. I mean, you know, the key is with someone like that is actually to give them the right development. Really, they're not going to be anywhere near their man strength till they're 23, 24, 25, 26. Even the likes of Shakur, I think he's got so much more to give in that respect. So the key is to develop him in the right way. Keep these young fighters active. That's the key for me. That's something we've always done with Matchroom. And we've had the ability to do that all around the world. You know, I want to see Zaquin fight in the UK, fight in the Middle East, maybe fight in Australia. And that's all part of his development as a future world champion.
Now, before we get to the main card, I want to go back to our last match that we just saw. It was a lot of fun having Richardson and Shakur here ringside for a fight that, you know, had an unpredictable narrative to it. It was unfolding. You have a late replacement at Edgar Cortez, giving Cardenas all he could handle, and Cardenas ultimately is able to close the show. What did you see from Arturo there?
I saw a very competitive fight. You know, I mean, you know, for the first, you've got to remember, sometimes, you know, you've got a big fight. You're in a championship fight against Kato. You know, he's an orthodox fighter. The fight falls through. All of a sudden, you're then told you're going to be cut to 8 rounds on before the bell. You're facing a late opponent who's a southpaw, who's local. You know, and all of a sudden, that's when things can start unraveling. I thought the first couple of rounds were very competitive. Arturo Cardenas is a very good fighter, you know, especially someone that's going to be better over the 12-round championship distance. He really gets going. You know, he's a tough kid that can really punch. I thought it was a really good fight. You know, I mean, until the first knockdown was interesting. I haven't watched it back, but for me, it looked like a punch, but also a crossing of the feet. Yeah, so, you know, and then, obviously, Charlie Fitch went over himself, and then it was this beautiful straight right hand against the southpaw. I think it was the shot that Robert Garcia was looking for him to punch. Cardenas' body punching up close was excellent, sometimes loading up a little bit, but in the end, it was just the perfect shot against the southpaw. The straight right hand down the middle, beautifully timed, and from there, it was only going one way.
And we have that footage of Charlie Fitch forever. You're never going to be able to.
Charlie.
Yeah. Let's move on to the main card. Shakram Giyasov in action to kick us off as Richardson Hitchens joins us again. Look, the last month, two have been unimaginable for this very talented fighter with his personal loss for sure, but he's continuing here with this scheduled match because he is still the mandatory challenger. How likely is it that Shakram Giyasov is the man who faces the winner of our main event tonight?
Yeah, I mean, as you said, you know, it's been well documented that, you know, Shakram lost his daughter just tragically, and, you know, just a few weeks ago, and, you know, I was surprised to see him on the card. It's you know, taken a huge amount of strength for him and his family, and our thoughts are with everybody, and, you know, has a tough assignment tonight and a risky assignment because of the circumstances, but also the circumstances in the boxing ring as well, because he's the mandatory challenger for the winner. He stepped aside as the mandatory challenger for Stanionis to allow this fight to happen tonight. So he gets his run out, and sometimes, again, they're the kind of fights where you can come unstuck, but Shakram Giyasov is set to fight the winner. Now, we also know that if Boots wins tonight, he's going to be looking at Norman and Barrios and all these other names. So there is a chance that Shakram ends up maybe fighting for a vacant title as well. We represent him, so it's quite good to be able to deal with that process. But yeah, there's a lot that's going to unfold in the welterweight division tonight with Shakram Giyasov and, of course, with Boots and Stanionis.
Definitely want to touch on the co-feature, but it just segues beautifully with Giyasov and now into the main event. And, you know, looking ahead with Boots, if he comes through here tonight, he collects another belt. What is that? Does that allow him enough room where he doesn't have to abide by those second-day weigh-in IBF rules, where he could afford to take more time at 147 for another fight or two to possibly chase undisputed?
That's a good question. You know, I think that only Boots after the fight tonight will know really how he felt without doing the hydration. I mean, clearly he's a huge welterweight. You know, I think he made the weight fantastically well this time, better than he did last time. But, you know, you look at Stanionis there. Look at the size of him.
He's
ripped. I mean, this is a brilliant fight. I called it an instant classic. It's a wonderful clash of styles. And, you know, we can talk all we want about the hydration, what comes next. This is the fight tonight. I think this is going to be a Fight of the Year contender. And this is a very dangerous fight for Jaron Boots Ennis. He's going to have to perform levels above he did last time against DAZN to beat Stanionis tonight. I believe he can do it. And I believe this is the kind of fight where Boots will show the world how great he is. There's an opportunity for him tonight to light Stanionis up in front of a sold-out Boardwalk Hall and announce himself as one of the biggest stars in the sport. It's right there in front of him. It's not going to be easy, but he's a guy with the ability to do it.
It's going to be right there in front of him.
It will
All
be.
gas, no brakes. We know this about Stanionis. He uttered it himself. How does that style play into Boots' strengths a little bit?
Well, I think it plays into his strengths because he's a fantastic counter-puncher and he's a guy with tremendous shot selection and great IQ. But it really is going to come down to how much hammer Stanionis can take. I mean, you look at the guy, I think the answer is a lot. He's super fit. He would have made the weight very, very well. We saw clips of him in training camp. I mean, the guy is a beast. So how much hammer can he take? I think he's going to be under serious fire in the early parts of the fight. If Stanionis can get through that, 5, 6, 7, 8, and he's still coming, it's going to be tough work for anyone. It doesn't matter whether it's Boots, Crawford, Mayweather. You know, if they're coming through that, all of a sudden the fight starts to change. Boots is a guy that likes to take chances sometimes. He doesn't mind throwing when you throw. And he's just got to be a little bit careful doing that against Stanionis. You know, we saw him do that against Eimantas and against DAZN. That's fine. This is a different kettle of fish. This is a more dangerous fighter, a more complete fighter, and someone that can punch harder and faster and for longer. But I think Boots will be super switched on for this fight. I think that's been the problem previously. He probably hasn't respected the challenge that's in front of him. I think he respects the challenge of Stanionis, and he'll need to. And I think it's going to be a brilliant fight.
That's going to be our main event coming up on DAZN. The main card gets going at 8 p.m. Eastern here inside the historic Boardwalk Hall. Last time you were here, was it Ward Froch?
Ward Froch, Barker against Martinez, Gavin Reese against Adrian Broner, Lee Purdy against Devon Alexander. I wasn't actually at, but yeah, we've not actually had a great record here, if I'm honest. So hopefully Boots can turn that round tonight.
Well, just from a boxing fan's perspective, the non-fights that you weren't present for, what comes to mind when you think of the all-time great clashes in this?
I mean, probably of my generation, it would be Mayweather against Gatti. You know, and previously before that, I mean, you know, you've seen the list of everyone that's boxed here: Mike Tyson, George Foreman, Larry Holmes, Sugar Ray Leonard. I mean, this has been the mecca of boxing for a long time. Hopkins Kovalev, of course, was the last kind of super fight that was here, big unification matchup. And as you see from the crowd tonight, they've been dying out. I mean, it's really nice to come to a city, you know, where people are saying thank you for bringing boxing back here, because this place has been starved of big-time boxing for a long time. And now it returns, and there's no reason why this can't be a regular fixture, not just in our calendar, but in the calendar for boxing, because when you look at historic venues for boxing in America, Madison Square Garden, MGM Grand, Boardwalk Hall, I mean, this is a place that's synonymous with big fights, synonymous with iconic names of the sport, and that's why we really like the opportunity to come here with Boots. We've done 2 shows in Philadelphia. It was a bit of a risk because there's no map for this market in the last 5-6 years in terms of a fight like this. So yeah, it was definitely a wipe of the brow when we saw the ticket sales, and it'll be completely full up tonight.
You know, before this day even began, you had people in AC come up to you and say, when are you guys coming back?
Yeah.
When are you coming back here? So it goes to show that this city, so historic, they're starved for more big-time boxing as well. Boots Ennis did fight in Atlantic City, in Boardwalk Hall a couple of years ago against Roy Monvilla, but it was in the small room. This is the big room, a little bit different. And Boots, later on tonight, will be back here in Atlantic City.
You're about to witness Philadelphia's own pound-for-pound star, Jaron Boots Ennis. Everything's set for him.
Boots Ennis is the class right now of the 147-pound division.
I think he's an unreal talent.
I love his style of fighting. I think he's explosive. And the best in the world division here in the world.
This is the Boots that everyone in boxing has their eye on, man. He just doesn't let you hide. Everything comes in slow motion for him.
They are building a superstar, but I'm in the way and I want to all the plans. He's a great fighter, good fighter. We all have 2 legs, 2 hands. Nobody is unbeatable.
Whatever you think you could do, I do better.
I come to fight. I will be standing, that's for sure.
Fighting that, he's gonna have a long night.
We've had 2 incredible events in Philadelphia, quite close together. And we wanted to take this one just somewhere a little bit different, somewhere quite iconic. And for me, the Boardwalk Hall is such an iconic venue. I mean, Atlantic City is steeped in history. You know, Mike Tyson's rampage in the 80s, of course, Gatti Ward, Holyfield against Foreman, Sugar Ray Leonard's last fight. It's just a great place, and I feel like it's, you know, so historic for the sport that we can reignite it with a fight like this.
I got a lot of memories in Atlantic City. I fought Roman Villa in 2023. I put on one of my best performances to date. We ready to do it again.
Yeah, it's crazy. In 2009, we were supposed to live here, you know. We came, we were trying to get a better life, you know, but it didn't work out. But I was traveling here, I was living here. I was just visiting Atlantic City, but I was living in Philadelphia and in Pennsylvania also. We changed location, so yeah, it's cool. It's I don't know, it's destiny maybe.
I'm very excited to bring another title back to Philadelphia. I already got a title. Cool Boy Stuff, he has a title. The Eagles just won, and I'm able to bring home 2 more belts. You know, Philly rocking and rolling right now.
It's like #1 against #2. It's for 3 belts, so it's amazing. It's a big opportunity for me, you know, and I don't want to slip on that. He's a great fighter. I'm also, you know, so we are going to meet and we're going to find out on April 12th who's the better guy.
Keep that one for him.
I'm getting this one, another one. No.
Yeah?
No. I'm going to take this one.
You want to bet your purse?
I'm not betting person.
You want to bet?
No, I'm not betting.
Let's come home with me, though.
No, that's not.
That's me.
We'll see soon. April 12th.
Yeah.
We'll see, for sure. It's good. We all have flaws. We're all not perfect. And you know that.
Back inside Boardwalk Hall here in Atlantic City as we count down to Eimantas Stanionis. But here's a look at what's happening next week. It's the start of the WBC Boxing Grand Prix over in Saudi Arabia. It's phase 1 that begins next Thursday. The Riyadh season WBC Grand Prix. And a little bit later on, Kevin Brown is back in action on Friday, part of a Box Lab showdown in Orlando. Also, Gabriel Fendora back in action, but next Saturday in the UK, it is the return of Dalton Smith.
You know, Dalton Smith.
Big attack!
I dare you.
Simply too good.
I would sling him in with anyone. I dare you to fight Dalton Smith.
Brilliant shot.
Have to give Sheffield a big fight.
Inch perfect punching from Dalton Smith.
He's too good.
Oh, tremendous!
Back here ringside on before the bell, it's Justin Shackle, Richardson Hitchens. We are about to start off our 4th and final fight here on before the bell. Zaquin Moses going up against Alex Paulette. We just saw Dalton Smith there, 140-pound contender. You've seen a lot of Dalton at all to speak to him? What are your thoughts on a fellow 140-pound contender?
The only fight I watched him was when he fought Zepeda after I fought Zepeda, and you can tell he stole a lot of my tactics, a lot of the game plan that I used with Zepeda. I could tell he used that to, you know, help him get the victory, and he seems like a solid young fighter, so hopefully me and him will probably meet soon.
He's a good guy. He's been on before the bell here in the U.S. before. Richardson's done a great job. Shakur's done a great job. We heard from Eddie Hearn as well. But now we are ready to go for our 4th and final bout, the main event here on Before the Bell, as we take a look at Zaquin Moses and Alex Paulette. Let's go inside the ring with David Diamante.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the iconic Boardwalk Hall here in Atlantic City, live on DAZN, it's now time for a special super featherweight attraction. Set to make his ring walk, please welcome Alex Palais.
Well, Alex Palais is 29 years of age, and he is locked in, ready to go, working up a sweat out back there. He's out of Puerto Rico, tall, wiry, 5'11", a 71-inch reach. It'll be intriguing to watch how Zaquin Moses approaches what's in front of him here. Palais is 1-3. He hasn't won since his pro debut in February of last year. And we saw him fight on the Matias Paro undercard in Puerto Rico last June, where he lost to Nelson Lozada. He said he wants to prove that he's better than his early record indicates, and he wants to discover where he stands next to some young up-and-coming prospects, because he feels those are the fighters that are most hungry.
And now entering the arena, please welcome the undefeated young phenom from Newark, Zaquin Moses.
Zaquin Moses making the ring walk for his third pro fight and the first in his home state. He was born and raised about 2 hours north of here in Newark. He's living in Houston with the rest of his family, but he has close to 100 fans, friends, family members here tonight to watch him do work. And the soon-to-be 20-year-old, he's checked every box. In his short time as a pro, he recorded his first stoppage win in his last fight. That was after his opponent had to quit on their stool due to an injury back in January in Vegas on the Pacheco-Nelson undercard. Tonight, Moses is hoping that he has more time to showcase his skills than the last fight. He's also hoping that this is his final 4-round fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the iconic Boardwalk Hall here in Atlantic City, New Jersey, USA, live on DAZN, we're set to go with our next bout of the evening, and it's all being brought to you courtesy of Mr. Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing. We're sponsored tonight by Bet Online, Everlast, El Mexicano, Riyadh Season, Visit Atlantic City, and Drip. Introducing your 3 judges scoring this contest from ringside: Jacqueline Atkins, Robin Taylor, and Tony Lundy. And at the sound of the bell, your third man in the ring, referee David Franciosi. And now, ladies and gentlemen, 4 rounds of boxing scheduled in the super featherweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, he wears solid red trunks. He scaled 129 3/4 pounds. He's a 4-fight veteran with 1 knockout, peleando desde Toa Baja, Puerto Rico. Damas y caballeros, Alex Palais. Palais. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner. He wears brown with white. He scaled 128 3/4 pounds. His young professional record thus far perfect: 2 fights, 2 victories, one of them coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Newark, New Jersey, please welcome Zaquin Moses. Moses.
All right, seconds out. All right, gentlemen, went over the rules earlier. Most important, protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times and give me a good, clean break. Good luck. Touch him up.
Let's give him a show.
Here we go. It's 4 rounds in our main event on Before the Bell. Zaquin Moses in the brown trunks and Alex Palais in the red trunks. Here from Boardwalk Hall in Atlantic City, New Jersey. As we close in on the main card coming up on DAZN, 8 p.m. Eastern, leading into the main event tonight, Jaron Boots Ennis, Eimantas Stanionis. for the title unification at 147 pounds. And Zaquin Moses facing a taller opponent, a 5'11" fighter. He says that's nothing new. He's done that plenty of times in the amateurs.
I already like Zaquin mentality. You said earlier he said he wanted this to be his last 4-rounders. I remember coming up, I was pro around, I think, 19 years old, and I wanted to get to 6 rounds ASAP, you know, because I've done seen a lot of fighters lose before, get a draw just by slipping, and that's already a 10-8 round. So you want to get out in 4-round fights early, especially if you feel like you're ready for that level. So, and Zaquin, he's ready for that.
He turns 20 later on this month. Pelé's a taller opponent, but you can tell Moses is fuller. He's got a wider physique, broad shoulders, and doesn't look like he has any issues making weight at 130 pounds. Moses is a sharp puncher with a quick jab. And he just didn't have the time to really display anything back on January 25th. His opponent, Mario Garcia, had to quit on his stool because he hurt his bicep. We see some stab jabs to the body from Moses.
Setting up the big shot. Taking his time.
Like that one, although it didn't land fully.
I like how he's staying in position. He's not taking a step back. Staying in position and not giving up ground.
One thing about Moses that you notice, since he made his first ring walk in his debut back in November at Wells Fargo Center, he looks like he has the ability to slow everything down.
I mean, that comes from being his big cousin, Shakur Stevenson, being in the gym with a guy like that, a mentor. That takes you to a whole nother level, especially IQ-wise. You know, Zay is special. I boxed Zay when he was probably 16 years old, and I didn't hold back too much on him, man. He held his ground and he held his own. He's smaller than me, but he's very skillful.
Pelé's been a pro for just over a year. Won his pro debut, 3 straight losses after that. And he's trying to create a little distance against Moses, but he's failing to do so. Good left hand to the body, and he certainly did.
Whenever a fighter shake their hand, shake their head, like that, they felt the shot.
Moses giving him a taste in round 1 with that body shot. What will follow in round 2?
Oh, that was the body shot right there.
That was it. For Zaquin, he still feels like the focus in camp. Again, 3 fights in 6 months now. It's still to keep sitting down on those punches. You can never do it enough. You can never practice it enough. Coming up as a new pro, he said he wants to make sure they all mean something.
He has power. I've been in the ring with him for his size and his age. He has power, so he's just got to find a way to deliver it. Good defense.
Pelé trying to land a 1-2. Moses backing away.
I expect Zay to keep going back down to that body.
Comes upstairs with a left hand, then a right.
Work in there. You got to work in there. You don't wait for the ref to say break.
Moses is doing a good job. When he's jabbing, it looks like he's jabbing toward the solar plex.
Taking the wind out of him. I don't see this lasting too long. But it's up to Zay how long he wants it to last.
It really can. It's 4 rounds, right? There's so little time if you're a young pro in those 4-round fights to make an impression, or the impression that you want to make on the judges.
Right.
And he sideswiped Pelé with that left hand.
Pelé laughed after he missed that shot. He laughed as if he was saying, what, you thought you was going to hit me with that?
Moses nearly connected with the check right hand.
Good
Pelé
shot.
hanging him on. There's a left hand that connects by Zaquin Moses.
Good body. Good shot.
He counters with that shot to the body, then came upstairs, scraped the chin. Zaquin Moses, one fluid motion, going to work here in round 2.
You know what I like about Zay? He's using his eyes. You can see his eyes is open. He's looking for them shots in there.
There's a punishing left, and Pelé forced to take a knee. And he tips his cap to Moses.
Oh.
That's it, fight waved off. Zaquin Moses returns to the Garden State with a second straight stoppage.
Well done, young man. Well done.
He's been dubbed as the future of American boxing. You're getting a peek as to what everybody's talking about.
I told Zay a long time ago he's special. Trust me, he is the future of American boxing.
Eddie Hearn was talking about it in between fights. He's starting to come out of his shell a little bit as well. It's great to see. That means you're only getting more comfortable.
Yeah, he's getting comfortable as a pro. This is where he wanted to be. He probably was looking up to his big cousin saying, one day I'm going to be right where he's at. And now he got the opportunity, and he's maximizing it.
So a terrific performance for Zaquin Moses. There's his grandfather, Wally Moses. He returns home here to New Jersey and picks up the win in Atlantic City. Said he won't have that surreal feeling about fighting in his backyard until he does fight at Prudential Center one day. That's the spot. There in Grand Garden Arena. Those are the two venues for Zaquin Moses that he wants to fight in most. Taking a look at some of the action here from that second round and what led to the stoppage. That's textbook right there.
That's textbook. Staying in position, blocking the shot, not giving up ground, embracing the shot, and coming right back with his shot.
And I think Pelé wanted to continue. The referee, David Franciosi, sensed where this fight was going. And he made the right call.
What I like most about tonight, he used his eyes. You can see when the guy was punching, he was looking for a shot. And that's what you want to see in a young fighter. IQ.
When you're regularly sparring Shakur Stevenson and Ray Ford, nights like this, they look easy. I'm sure they aren't, but you're not going to get tougher sparring every single day than that.
To have nights like this, sparring guys like, Raymond Ford and Shakur Stevenson, to have nights like this, you probably got to go through a lot of nights of getting your butt whooped. Yep. You know what I'm saying? But it pays off, especially as a young, special fighter like him. And you can see it's paying off.
In those moments, you're getting schooled. You may not realize you're getting better until nights like this come to your front doorstep.
I remember sparring Zay, and I put it on him. And then Shakur, he was like, Richardson's going to do this and do that. And Shakur was like, okay, watch this. When me and Richardson box, I'm going to show you what and what not to do. And he was right there like a sponge watching the sparring and seeing what nots and what to do. So he's a student of the game.
He'll turn 20 years of age on April 25th. And you can bet you will see him in action in the very near future again. Might be on your card, who knows?
Yeah, I would love that.
We'll see. His camp stablemate, Ray Ford, later takes on Thomas Batista in our co-feature. Right now, Zaquin Moses is ready to get his hand raised. Let's make it official inside the ring and go over to David Diamante.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee David Franciosi calls a halt to this contest. The official time of the stoppage, 2 minutes and 13 seconds of round number 2, declaring your winner by knockout. He's still undefeated, Zaquin Moses.
Zaquin Moses improves to 3-0. Let's go inside the ring with Ak to hear from the man they call Zeba.
Zaquin, congratulations on a phenomenal performance tonight. You've had 2 great wins in your career. Tonight, you look so poised and comfortable picking your shots, sitting down on your punches, looking like a boxer puncher. How do you rate your performance tonight?
I give myself an A, just because I got the stoppage. But first and foremost, I want to thank God, because without God, none of this would be possible. And yeah, I'm so grateful. I'm so blessed.
You know, I'll be remiss not to mention that your family, one of the best fighters in the world, Shakur Stevenson, has been active in your career. How much do you credit being around him and absorbing that knowledge to your rapid growth?
I give him so much credit in the world. I mean, that's my big brother. I love him to death. And I watch him do everything. I watch him all his big fights. I watch every move he did, and I appreciate him so much. And I love him to death. That's my big brother.
Well, look, obviously you're at the stage in your career where you want to be busy and active. How many more times do you want to be out there this year in the ring?
A couple more times. I want to fight in June on Richardson Hitchens' card, so hopefully I can get on that, and hopefully I can shine on that card too.
Look, you fought at the Wells Fargo Center in Las Vegas, in this historic arena here in the Boardwalk Hall, New Jersey, your home state. Can you shout out anybody that has come from Newark and anybody watching at home?
I want to shout out my whole family, everybody that came to support me. I want to thank everybody, because without try, you know, certain stuff wouldn't be possible. But I'm so thankful, I'm so grateful, and like I said the other day, I'm one of the best prospects in boxing, and I can't wait to keep proving it.
Phenomenal performance. Congratulations. Looking forward to seeing you again.
Thank you.
Justin.
Thank you, Ak, and congratulations to Zaquin Moses again. He does, you know, everything right in the ring. Great kid outside as well. You know, boxing, it's family time, it's video games. That's pretty much Zaquin Moses' life, and he admits to it as well. And he said it. He's one of the best prospects of the game. I think for the rest of this 2025 calendar year, we're going to be seeing that over and over again from Zaquin Moses.
Yeah, the kid is focused. He loves boxing. You know, in Houston, he moved to Houston to be with Shakur, so he could pick up from Shakur, be around Shakur, and just better his game. And we're seeing it. I think we're starting to see the start of something special. And
so we get a stoppage here. He was eager to get the stoppage. He's still got to grow into his man strength. I mean, it's obvious. He's not even 20 yet, but being around him, seeing what you see in the ring, where do you think the power is going to come from? What direction? Is it that left hand? Is it something else?
I think he has power, like, already at his age. I sparred him. I think one time I caught one of the shots, like, you got some power for your size. So I think that is all about growing into his man strength, learning how to place his shots, and with experience, it's going to come. He's going to get the knockouts. They're going to build, but I like to see a fighter focus on his skills and IQ. And being in camp with Shakur Stevenson, that's going to be a main focus, not the power, not the knockouts, because them things are here today but gone tomorrow. It's the IQ. That's what's going to give you longevity in the sport. And I think that Zay has the skills to take it to the highest level. So I like the path he's going in.
So we saw a couple of tests on before the bell. We saw some entertaining stoppages as well. Here's what you're going to see on the main card. Again, coming up at the top of the hour from Atlantic City, New Jersey. 8 p.m. Eastern on DAZN. It'll start off with Shakram Giyasov. He could be the one that awaits the winner of our main event here tonight. Giyasov in action against Franco Ocampo. Then it is Amari Jones in his second pro fight, taking on William Action Jackson over at super welterweight. Raymond Ford and Thomas Matisse, second fight for Ford at 130 pounds. You talk about sights of people at weigh-in shows. Raymond Ford looks stacked now at 130 pounds. He looks healthy, he looks full. He's going to be taking on a very tough out in Thomas Matisse. Then it is the main event. Jaron Boots Ennis, Eimantas Stanionis, 1 versus 2 in 147 pounds. Ennis' IBF welterweight title, Stanionis' WBA welterweight title, and the vacant Ring Magazine welterweight title are all on the line as two fighters who are hungry for legacy will able to come out of this Arena, this famed venue for our terrific sport. Only one will have their hand raised. Only one will keep their O on their impressive pro records. Who will it be? We are moments away from finding out. Final predictions here for our main event.
I'm expecting Boots to show up. You know, this is his big test. This is the fight that he wanted. He wanted to take the champion belt. He didn't want to receive it. You know what they say, quote unquote, email champion. And right now, I mean, he's defending his belt, but right now, this is the moment he can take a champion belt. And I think that he's hungry, especially from his last performance, and he's looking to redeem himself. So tonight, I'm expecting it to be his night, but don't stay on this off. This guy's tough, this guy's hungry, and this guy has a new baby coming any day now. So that's on his mind. So we don't know if this guy's he's going to be willing to take whatever Boots is throwing tonight. So I'm excited. Let's hurry this up.
Yeah, there's hunger for both sides. There's an urgency for Stanionis to fight and then get home to his pregnant wife over in Lithuania. We're going to wrap up our coverage here from Boardwalk Hall for the champ, Richardson Hitchens, for Shakur Stevenson, Eddie Hearn, our entire Matchroom and DAZN crew. I'm Justin Shackle. Enjoy Ennis, Stanionis coming your way at 8 p.m. Eastern on DAZN.
This is the moment the world has been waiting for. The judges are ready, the fighters are ready, the boxing world is ready. The fight starts now!
How do you like it? On the show, so aggressive, so focused. It all comes down to this.
Fight night, only on DAZN.